Hey everybody, this is Maxine Taylor with my astrological overview for all 12 signs for February 2020. And of course, we know, if we are students of astrology, that we begin the month with the sun, the giver of life, in humanitarian. I told you I loved you last week. I haven't changed my mind. I marched to my own drummer, Aquarius. On the 19th, it wafts into lovely, I have a dream. I hear a distant melody, Pisces. We know that. And Venus starts the month, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and loveliness, starts the month in beautiful, dreamy Pisces. And then on the 8th, it leaps into, I see, I like, I go after Aries. And the passion starts running forward. And Mars, of course, starts off the month in Give Me My Wings to Soar, Sagittarius. And then on the 15th, it moves into practical, logical, I don't mope, I don't hope, I cope, Capricorn. And that's great. The biggest thing that's happening in February, drum roll please, Mercury is going retrograde. And many of you know this because you study astrology and you know that Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. Now, I have a video out on YouTube called Mercury Retrograde, the prequel and the sequel. And what I'm talking about on that video is not just Mercury retrograde, but the shadow of the retrograde Mercury, which precedes and follows Mercury's retrograde motion. The first shadow, of course, is before Mercury goes retrograde. And we start feeling the retrograde Mercury during the shadow. And this is why a lot of people say, it feels like Mercury is retrograde, but I know it's not going to go retrograde until, let's see, this month, February 16th. It'll go stationary on the 16th and retrograde on the 17th. However, the shadow precedes that. It starts on February 2nd. I thought that it began a couple of days earlier, but that's probably because I wasn't wearing my glasses when I looked at the ephemeris. So we have a couple more days before the shadow begins. Then on the 16th, Mercury goes retrograde. It goes direct on March 10th. We'll talk about that next month too. And then there is the second shadow, which ends March 29th. So let's just say from start to finish, February 2 to March 29. And so what do we do on a retrograde Mercury? What we don't do is we do not begin new projects. You wouldn't start a new job. You wouldn't get married. You wouldn't buy a new car unless, of course, the old one died in the middle of the highway. Then common sense says, yes, you need a new car. Or your laptop bellies up. You need a new laptop. What you do is you tie up the loose ends of unfinished projects. And buying that car or that laptop might be the completion of a new car or a new laptop that began a year or so ago. I hope this is making sense to you. So that's what we're talking about. And everything goes kerflooey during a retrograde Mercury. For example, you make plans to have lunch with a friend at a particular restaurant on a particular day at a particular time. Your friend goes to the wrong restaurant, you show up a day early. That's the kind of miscommunication that occurs on the retrograde Mercury, because Mercury rules communication, correspondence, and transportation, our mouth and our minds. Now, just before it goes retrograde, and then again just before it goes direct, I have noticed in myself and in other people that there's a tendency to go toe-to-toe with somebody. There's a tendency to say something inflammatory. You don't mean to, it just falls out of your mouth. Be aware of that and laugh it off and say to the other person, Mercury retrograde strikes again. So, in addition to Mercury retrograde, our full moon is February 9th in 20 degrees of Leo. Find 20 Leo in your birth chart, because on the full moon, things come to a head. They, when I say come to a head, they culminate. It doesn't mean they explode. It doesn't mean it's negative. On the contrary, the seeds you have planted prior to the full moon, perhaps on the previous new moon, bear fruit on the full moon. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, we're in the dark of the moon. There's no moon. Look in the sky, can't see the moon. The moon rules function and form and is involved in every situation here on planet Earth. And so in the dark of the moon, the world has low energy. Things are just not moving forward. On the new moon, they begin moving forward. Well, the new moon is February 23rd, and it's in 4 Pisces, 29 minutes. Let's just call it 4 Pisces. Find 4 Pisces in your birth chart, because that's the area of life where things begin moving forward. Don't you love it? So, happy February, happy Mercury retrograde, and laugh at it. If you can't utter a complete sentence, just laugh and say, Mercury retrograde. Okay? So, keep on looking at the videos, because I'll be giving a forecast for each sign. So till we meet again next month, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours, and may retrograde Mercury be kind to you.